Hi, my name is Tony Martinez from Stellar Properties. Today I'd like to talk about 4 ways to survive a low inventory market as a buyer. Now, it's tough out there on the Front Range. There is, critical low inventory across the board, and it's really tough for buyers out there. So one of the first things I tell buyers is prepare for the long haul. Think about it's probably going to take 2 to 3 times more than it would traditionally take to buy a house. And so it's wise for buyers to think of contingency plans. Think about, well, if you're in a rental, can you go month to month afterwards? Contingency plans, like if you have to, could you move in with a relative temporarily? There are other things that I talk with buyers about. There's some other contingency plans, but preparing for the long haul really helps buyers work through the process. The second way is to think about other options at some point. So at some point, if a buyer's having a tough time finding a 4-bedroom house, maybe it's wise to take a look at 3-bedroom houses that might be at a lower price range, but you can maybe go a little higher in price when you're competing. So that might be an option. Or people looking for a large yard. Maybe you get a smaller yard, but maybe it abuts an open space or green belt and gives that sense of a larger yard. So sometimes these are options that I talk to buyers about when we are having difficulty competing with other offers. The third thing to consider when working through this process is work through the frustration. And it can be frustrating when you've lost offers on a couple weekends in a row. And I know it's tough emotionally, and I think it's wise to be as productive as possible. I work with my buyers as a team, and we kind of take a step back and say, what did we learn from that last experience? In our situation, what can we tweak to make us more attractive the next time? And eventually, we really hone our strategy, dial it in, and make it happen. So the last thing to consider is that patience and persistence pays off. I would say that in my 16 years of real estate now, that 85 to 90% of the time, when buyers have lost out on a couple houses, that they ultimately find a house that they're glad that they waited for and that they missed out on all these other houses. That happens 85 to 95% of the time. So folks, if you know of any people that could use my assistance in helping them work through this process, think of Tony Martinez, Stellar Properties.